This is the Jocko Underground Podcast, number 224. Sitting here with Echo Charles. We have some questions from the front lines from planet Earth.
Sure.
People that are in the trenches right now trying to figure it out.
Yep. And
we are going to provide some guidance, some answers, or at a minimum, some courses of action that you can follow to navigate what Echo Charles calls the maze of life.
You're correct.
Right on. Let's get into it.
All right, let's get into it. First question. Hello, Jocko Echo. I was born and raised in Iran, and I now live as a resident expat in GCC country. Do you know what that is? GCC?
Yeah, it's the Gulf states. There's Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Qatar, UAE. I'm forgetting a couple of them, but it's basically it's the Gulf countries.
Okay.
The bunch of
that region.
I've been to all of them, except for Oman is in there. I've been to all of them except for Saudi Arabia.
Okay, right on. So that's where we're at. Okay, I can't go back home because I chose not to serve in the IRGC military. It's my dream to move to the U.S. because I love everything about it. I do social media, wake up at 5 a.m. every day, and work 12 hours a day. I'm working really hard. I don't have a lot of money, and the American dream feels so far away. I can see the progress I'm making in my life, but considering my financial situation and the political situation between Iran and the U.S., the dream of moving to the U.S. feels nowhere near. Discipline, hard work, and my knowledge are all I have, but it feels like I'm going to have to keep this momentum forever, and that scares me. I'm 24 years old. My question is, what would you do if you were in my shoes?
Right on. Well, sounds like you're on the path, so that's good to go. The good news is you're 24 years old. You got some time. Got some time to make things happen. So as I hear this question, I think the best way for you to try and get to America is through what's called an employment-based visa. And you're going to have to research this stuff. I'm just kind of telling you from people that I've known over the years. An employment-based visa, I think they call it like an EB, EB1, EB2. There's a bunch of different kinds you can get. But it could be a priority worker, they call it. This is someone that's got, again, the term is extraordinary ability. And this could be in science, this could be in education, this could be art, this could be in business, this could be athletics, high-level executive. So if you are extraordinary in some way, you can get a visa. You can get a visa for an advanced degree, or some kind of, again, exceptional ability. Like if you have a master's or you have a PhD in something, there's a chance you could get a visa there. Sometimes the skilled workers can get a visa. So you can work that. There's also this is a little bit strange, but there's like niche categories where if you're some type of, let's say, a broadcaster or some type of strange niche entertainment type scenario, you might be able to get in there. Long-term government employees can kind of get in there as well. So there's those options. There's also the option that if you invest, it's something like $1 million. If you invest $1 million into a new U.S. company that creates at least 10 jobs, you can get a visa there as well. That might seem like unachievable, but hey, you're 24 years old. You can make that happen. So you're in luck because there are pathways to make this happen. Now, each one of these pathways requires you to work hard and obviously be disciplined, which it sounds like you're doing. You're getting up early, you're getting after it. If you do that over time, some of these opportunities will start to open up. And by that, I mean, for instance, you can start to apply to get hired by a company that's an international company that has stations or offices where you are, and you get hired by that company and you work for that company for a while, and then eventually you can do an internal transfer and you can get transferred to one of their offices in the United States. That's a methodology. Again, these are hard jobs to get, but if you have the right skill set, you can get it. Or you can also apply directly to U.S.-based companies that have the opportunity. Some of these U.S.-based companies can sponsor foreign workers if they have certain skill sets. So that's another way to make it happen. And I think that both of those are pretty good options. But again, both these options require you to work really hard to get the qualifications needed to get hired at these type of companies. Whether you get hired in an international company that has overseas offices and eventually get transferred to America, or you are applying directly to an American company that has the ability to sponsor foreigners to come and work in America. In order to get there, you have to have some skills. Because this is America. We want to bring in people that are going to add to America, not that are going to take away from America. Right? When you bring something to the table, we want you in America. If you're going to take stuff off the table, we don't want you in America. We already have enough of those people. So build yourself up so that you bring something to the table to get to America. The only other kind of option I'll throw out there, and this one is less stable, but the fact of the matter is, you are from Iran. I'm assuming that means that you have some language capability in some of the languages from Iran, whether that's Persian or others. And having that capability is a big asset as far as working in conjunction with the American military or the American intelligence. So you could also start looking around and applying for jobs under the umbrella of the United States, whether, again, as a military interpreter or as an intelligence interpreter. And if you do that, you will be able to establish yourself and hopefully bring something to the table and move up the ranks that way. So that is an option as well. And it sounds like you would be at least a good candidate for that, since you were raised in Iran. You have a lot of local knowledge that Americans don't have. You have language ability that Americans don't have. So you could also look into whether it's the State Department, whether it's the intelligence community, or whether it's some sort of military asset you could move into. And then sometimes, again, it's not guaranteed, sometimes that opens up the opportunity to become a resident in America. Again, that'll take hard work, that'll take discipline, but those are your options. And finally, I'll say this. Wherever you are, you got to create your own dreams. And that's the same thing in America. America, just because you get to America doesn't mean everything just happens. It doesn't. There's opportunity here. But wherever you are, and like I said, I've been to all the Gulf states except for Saudi Arabia, and there's plenty of opportunity over there for someone that's working hard and getting after it. So regardless of where you... That is a little excerpt of what we are doing on the Jocko Underground podcast. So if you want to continue to listen, go to jockounderground.com and subscribe. And we're doing this to mitigate our reliance on external platforms so we are not subject to their control. And we are doing this so that we can support the Jocko podcast, which will remain as is, free for all, as long as we can keep it that way. But we are doing this so we don't have to be under the control of sponsors. And we're doing it so we can give you more control, more interaction, more direct connections, better communications with us. And to do that, we're building a website right now where we'll be able to utilize to strengthen this legion of troopers that are in the game with us. So thank you. It's jockounderground.com. It costs $8.18 a month. And if you can't afford to support us, we can still support you. Just email assistance@jockounderground.com and we'll get you taken care of. Until then, we will see you mobilized underground.